So, the legend himself, Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean, is back with a brand new series on Netflix called Man vs. Baby. Now, the title alone sounds like it's going to be classic Atkinson, right? But did it actually deliver? We're about to break down a review that really digs into whether this show is a hit or a pretty big miss. Let's get into it.
So here's the game plan. We'll start with the premise, what the show's all about. Then we're going to jump straight to the final verdict. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, the comedy, a really weird technical issue, and who should actually watch this thing. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the reviewer's final score.
Okay, so what is the show even about? Well, it's a short, 4-episode series set during Christmas. Rowan Atkinson plays a guy who gets a job house-sitting this super fancy modern home. Seems easy enough, right? Except he quickly finds out he's not alone. He's got to deal with a baby, and it basically turns into an all-out war. Now, come on, when you hear Rowan Atkinson and physical comedy, your mind immediately goes to Mr. Bean. I mean, the guy is an absolute legend. So the question everyone is asking is, does this new show have that same magic? Is it another instant classic? You'd think so, right? All right, let's not beat around the bush. What did the reviewer actually think of the show as a whole? What's the final word?
And the verdict is, it's just okay. The reviewer summed it up as normal or acceptable at best. Ouch. Basically, it doesn't really offer anything new or exciting, and it definitely doesn't live up to the masterpieces we know Atkinson is capable of.
Okay, so if the show is just acceptable, what about the most important part, the comedy? I mean, that's the whole reason you'd watch this, right? Let's dig into what worked, and maybe more importantly, what really didn't.
The humor was a real mixed bag. The reviewer basically called it a 50-50 shot. So for every joke that might get a little smile out of you, there's another one that just completely falls flat. It sounds like it was pretty inconsistent. And here's where you can really see that 50-50 split. On the one hand, yeah, it's got a light, family-friendly vibe. It's easy to watch, but on the flip side, it's not going to have you rolling on the floor laughing like old-school Mr. Bean. The script got called out for being super predictable and just unoriginal. And that feeling apparently carried over to Rowan Atkinson's performance itself. The reviewer felt like his heart just wasn't in it, saying it felt like he was just there to take the check and leave. Man, that's a tough thing to hear about one of the comedy greats. But here's the wild part. The predictable script and the lukewarm performance, that wasn't even the biggest problem. Nope. The reviewer's #1 complaint was something, well, it was something much more specific and honestly kind of weird. So the thing that distracted the reviewer the most wasn't the writing or even the acting, it was a technical choice, a visual effect that was apparently so bad it was impossible to look past. It just goes to show you how one little detail can almost ruin a whole show. So get this, the baby was CGI, and according to the review, it was bad CGI, like so unnatural that it crossed over into being straight up unsettling. The quote says it all, you feel that something is wrong. So instead of this cute little co-star, you've got this creepy, distracting digital baby, which is a massive problem when the whole show is about physical comedy between the man and the baby. So you've got a predictable plot, hit-or-miss jokes, and a creepy CGI baby. So who on earth is this show for? Well, believe it or not, the reviewer actually has a very specific audience in mind. So here's who this show is apparently perfect for. Families who just need something on during the holidays. Or maybe if you're just looking for some background noise while you're doing other things. Basically, if you don't want to think too hard and you go in with super low expectations, you might just find it acceptable. Okay, so we've covered the good, the bad, and the deeply unsettling computer-generated baby. It's time to boil all of this down to just one number. What's the final score? And there you have it, a 6 out of 10. That number really says it all, doesn't it? It's not a total disaster, but it's completely forgettable. It's the very definition of just okay and nothing more. And to put that 6 out of 10 in perspective, the reviewer made it a point to say that this show has absolutely zero rewatch value for him. He said he'd much rather just go back and watch the classic Mr. Bean movies or the old series than ever watch this again. And that, right there, says it all. You know, this whole thing kind of leaves us with a bigger question, doesn't it? When we love a classic like Mr. Bean so much and we have all this nostalgia built up, can anything new from that same person ever really compete? It makes you wonder if some classics are just untouchable.